cult status. Kamach, my man Guru, ball head slick.
Bring it on if you think you can hang.
It's legendary.
Then let me do my thing.
Yo, Kamachi, Philly's my...
Hey, what's up guys, Short Fuse here, bringing you some 2D fighting game news. I figured I'd do a couple of these a year, sort of like a roundup of what's going on in the world of traditional 2D fighting games. Let's get right to it. Alright, first off, what's happening in the world of SNK and King of Fighters? The 20th anniversary is come and gone, and we got nothing. All my predictions were completely wrong, so I apologize for wasting your time and giving people false hope, but my heart was in the right place. None of my predictions were too out there and non-feasible. But for some reason, after 20 years of consistent behavior, SNK decides to throw a total curveball at us and completely ignore an event as significant as 20 years of a franchise. Now, it's not like they didn't acknowledge it. We got little things like KOF titles on the Neo Geo station being marked down in price, Rhythm of Fighters given away for free, and most recently, like a week ago, KOF 2012i also became free. This is the cellular phone version of KOF 13. But you know, I wanted an actual brand new title. We all did, so these cancellation prices won't do it all. On top of that, the next KOF is probably going to be a Maximum Impact sequel. The patent has been filed for Maximum Impact 3. That's very disappointing, but I already complained extensively about this, so I'm gonna let it go. Now, if I could indulge in some more speculation, well actually more of a suggestion for SNK, since we're not getting the game, here's what they should do. The Ash Saga Collection. Just like the Orochi Collection and the NES Collection, put KOF 2003, 11, and 13 on one disc for current and next-gen consoles. Do some minor rebalancing for the gameplay, some tweaks, add online for 2003 and 11, maybe put some graphic filters options like 2XL, Super Eagle, etc. Since it's going to be running on HD screens, might as well forget about the authenticity and graphic fidelity and embrace some aesthetic changes. For 13, they could make the DLC characters available from the get-go and maybe make True Psyche and Dark Ash playable, although I personally don't really care for them very much. Anyway, I think that would be an acceptable consolation price. I need to feel like these past 20 years with the franchise get their deserved acknowledgement, kinda like some sort of closure. Okay, moving on. In other SNK news, Sony and SNK are bringing more SNK titles to the Neo Geo station, and what makes the cut is up to you. Here's a link to the official PlayStation blog where you can take part in the poll and vote. The listed titles to choose from is as follows: Art of Fighting 2, Fatal Fury Special, Garo Mark of the Wolves, The King of Fighters 97, The King of Fighters 2000, The Last Blade 2, Real Bout Fatal Fury 2, The Newcomers, Samurai Showdown 2, and Samurai Showdown 5 Special. All of these games are going to get online capabilities, so that's pretty cool. Next up, let's take a look at some Street Fighter news. We all know about the leaked trailer, we saw glimpses of the footage. Street Fighter V has become a tangible reality. We all knew it was coming, but given Capcom's latest financial kerfuffles, there was some uncertainty regarding the franchise's future. But now it's official, and as weird as it is to say it, Street Fighter V is gonna be a PS4 exclusive. Not a timed exclusive, no nothing, just straight up exclusive. Now, I've never owned an Xbox of any kind, been with Sony since the PS1, but I really hate to see people with Xboxes being deprived of the opportunity to get their hands on one of the pillars of the 2D fighting game genre. The wider the audience a game reaches, the better. More players, bigger community, more interest generated. From the looks of it, any eventual Super Street Fighter Vs, Ultra Street Fighter Vs, and so on and so forth will also be PS4 exclusives, because the game at its core is being designed from the ground up to accommodate the PS4 hardware. Now, onto the footage itself. Personally, I'm not a fan as far as graphics go. It looks like a slightly improved Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It has lost the cartoony paintbrush appeal of Street Fighter 4. The character models, although very detailed, look shiny, smooth, they lack any sort of gritty texture, very sterile. They look like Maximum Impact or Dead or Alive lifeless dolls. They're going in a more photorealistic direction and I don't like it. There was the obligatory particle effects flying around all over the place, which seems to be like a badge of honor for this gen's fighting games. Oh, look at all the sparkling shit on the screen, that's horsepower. Yeah, right. If a few sparklers is all next gen has to offer, then I'm not sold at all. Look, I know graphics can change during development, It has happened before, and I'm not pretending like I'm the voice of the entire fighting game community. I'm just one guy who likes things to look a certain way. I feel like since hand-drawn seems to be a thing of the past, we should at least make 3D look as close to hand-drawn as we can, like Guilty Gear. But that's just me. I know a lot of people hated Street Fighter 4's art style. As far as the gameplay is concerned, I'm glad it's still Street Fighter. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There doesn't seem to be any drastic alteration to the core formula, thank God. Because with KOF going maximum impact, Street Fighter remains the only, I repeat, the only true traditional 2D fighting game in existence. Meaning no chain combos, no air follow-ups, air dashing, homing attacks, and so on and so forth. By analyzing the trailer in slow motion, we can see what looks like specials being cancelled into other specials like KOF. Here, for example, we'll see Ryu's Dragon Punch animation being abruptly cancelled into another Dragon Punch. Also, there's sort of like a delay before the Dragon Punch comes out, so it could be like this. You do a Dragon Punch and hold punch, and only the first punch comes out, and when you release the punch button, the air portion will begin. It could be some sort of new cancel system where certain moves remain suspended in animation, giving you the opportunity to input others. Next up, we can see Chun-Li doing a fireball, followed up by another fireball. Now, I'm not sure if this is linked or cancelled into, or they're two separate moves. It's hard to tell because there's no combo counter in the trailer. Moving on, here we can see Chun-Li going into some sort of rage mode. It very well could be an overdrive type mechanic that lets you free cancel for a short time. Also, there's gonna be destructible environments. I'm not really sure where they're going with this. Once that wall breaks, the surface of the ring doubles. So what does that mean for corners and corner combos? The ring would become way too big, and it would drastically change the way matches are played. I'm sure they'll make it work though. Maybe once you take the bout into another room or a segment of the stage you can't exit anymore, or maybe the stage itself is smaller by default, so that only after you break a wall, you get the stage in its entirety, lengthwise. We'll see. Now I'm sure we're all excited for Street Fighter 5, but let's not forget about Ultra Street Fighter 4, which has quite a few things going for itself at the moment. In fact, it's gonna get a next-gen release on the PS4. It will include all the DLC ever released, and I'm assuming better graphics, so it's gonna look like the PC version on max settings. It's also safe to assume that all the new trials in Omega mode are gonna be available on disc right off the bat. In my experience, people in the fighting game community are not in the habit of selling their old consoles. Fighting games are like sports, so they're timeless. It's like baseball. The rules, equipment, etc. are always the same. They more or less have been for hundreds of years, but people still play it every day. Same goes for fighting games. But nonetheless, Ultra Street Fighter 4 will be a great addition to the library of those who sold their PS3s in favor of the PS4. As far as current gen Ultra Street Fighter goes, on the 15th of December, the arcade version of the game is going to get a 1.04 patch, and it's safe to assume that so will the home console version. The patch will include Omega mode, rebalancing, fixes for glitches, and trials for the characters from Arcade Edition and onwards, as well as new trials for all the characters. In other news, Under Night In-Birth is set for release in North America in late February, so that's a couple months ahead of schedule. More details about the game in my upcoming 2D fighting games video. Click right here if you want to watch it, or follow the link in the description. Speaking of the aforementioned video, one game flew under my radar and I didn't mention it at all, and that's Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax, 2D anime fighter from Sega. It's been available in Japan for about a month, no release date set yet for outside Japan, so if you want to snag the Japanese version, go for it. It looks good, I've seen some gameplay footage, read a little bit about it, I'll probably get it soon myself. Now in Guilty Gear news, Europe received an official confirmation that Guilty Gear XRD will be released in PAL regions very soon. The series producer stated on Twitter, "I didn't forget Europe, we will release ASAP." Well, everybody knew a European release would be eventually coming, but it was still a little bit up in the air. But now it's 100% official, so that's good. Another upcoming fighting game announcement. In the latest issue of Famitsu magazine, they have unveiled a brand new fighting game by Axemu. It'll be called NITRO Plus Blaster, and it's gonna be released in Japanese arcades in 2015, and a console release will probably happen sometimes in 2016. It's a standard affair anime fighter. Not much is known, There's only a few screenshots available, but from what I've gathered, it seems like the gameplay is going to be heavily focused on the assist mechanic. Think KOF 2001. Now, to finish off in more personal news, as in what's going on with this channel, here's a little bit of a schedule of upcoming stuff. Although I hate making announcements because life gets in the way and I feel bad if I don't deliver, but on the other hand, announcing something kind of almost forces you to do the work, so it might be just a kick in the rear that I need. Okay, so here it is. The King of Fighters 13 Trials for Leona will be out very soon, definitely before 2015. As always, I'm going to be guiding you through all the trials step by step, very in-depth, show you all the techniques, tricks, and shortcuts. You know, the whole thing. I also got an Ultra Street Fighter 4 advanced combo tutorial for Makoto coming out very soon. Here I'll be showing you all of Makoto's most beastly combos and techniques for Super Street Fighter 4, Arcade Edition, and Ultra. After that, I'm going to begin editing the micro cab tutorial. Again, it's going to be very in-depth. I'll be guiding you through all the steps from the hardware and tools you're going to need to coming up with your own design, wiring, woodwork, and the whole 9 yards. And also, I was thinking of making a PS1 fighting game memories video. 2014 has also been the PS1's 20th anniversary, and it's a console that's very near and dear to my heart. I've also reached 200 subscribers, New Year's is almost here. I figured I'd do the PS1 thing as a 200 subs / New Year's special video or something like that. In 2015, however, I'll mainly be focusing on making combo tutorials, since that was the initial purpose of this channel, but I got a little sidetracked. Okay, so that's gonna be it for now. I have not abandoned the KOF 14 series of videos, it's just that it's been total radio silence from SNK for many months now, but rest assured that as soon as more news will be available, good or bad, I'll make a video about it. Alright everybody, thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.